All right, as you can see, I'm in my new office here, and boxes behind me. We've just completed our move, and it's really a fresh start for my family and I. And one of the things I want to talk about today is the topic of forgiveness. Now, forgiveness is one of those I would say hot button things that both people inside the church and outside the church really have a difficult time with. I've heard it said that forgiveness is really incredibly important in order to for your personal freedom, your personal development, and lack of forgiveness, or when you won't forgive someone. In essence, the definition is that you are swallowing a bitter pill, hoping to cause harm to someone else. So when you have a lack of forgiveness in your life, bitterness, resentment, anger, guilt, sarcasm, all those negative attitudes and emotions really tend to dominate and captivate your time. One of the things that I had to do in my personal journey is learn how to forgive those folks that I felt wounded by, I felt betrayed by, I felt like I had been taken advantage of by. And that was really tough because I really like justice. I really like things to be fair. And one of the things I've learned, especially in my relationship with God, is that His grace absolutely violates man's sense of justice. Things that I think would be right or fair in God's economy really don't go that way. And I'm called to forgive, regardless of what a friend or a foe would do. That's my calling, is on my side of the street. I'm called to forgive them and to do my best to, as far as it depends on me, is what the scripture says, walk in love towards them and also be at peace with them. And so, there's a couple processes to forgiveness. First of all, we've got to clarify a few things. Forgiveness is not just a one-time event. I've learned that there's multiple layers of forgiveness. As things pop up, as memories occur, as I experience consequences from loss of relationship with folks who I consider friends and family, colleagues even, fellow believers who I imagine thought that they were doing wholeheartedly what was best and right in their own eyes. Now, that's not a judgment or a critique, but there is a difference between I guess what my attitude used to be towards them and what it is today. So I found that I was allowing those folks that had caused me harm, or my family harm, in whatever degree that was, mostly relationally and emotionally, loss of relationship from friendship, and even directly doing some things that were very vindictive, gossiping, kind of self-righteous things for whatever reason. Now that's their side of the street, but on my side of the street, I saw that when I was having a negative attitude, I was actually, when thoughts or triggers or memories of these people would come to mind, it would just begin to dominate my thinking. And then it would impact my attitude, and that would be negative. I would start to feel sad about that. I would start to feel angry about that. And the only way for me to release that was not to say that what they were doing was okay, because it certainly wasn't and isn't. And not to say that the forgive and forget principle, because that's not true. There are real scars from real wounds that others have caused me, and forgiveness is setting the captive free. So no longer are these folks squatting in my head, or in terms of using the rental analogy, as if they're renting space, emotional energy, mental energy within my head, and not paying rent for that. So I had to evict them from that. And sometimes that's even a daily process. And it's been multiple layers. It started with writing a letter, personally, just individually, from my eyes only, to just help process the emotions, all those really normal human things of, the why did this happen? Why are you treating me this way? There's one of the things that I had to see is that you can walk down and feel like you're being persecuted and go the victim route, but at the end of the day, I have to look myself in the mirror. And regardless of what someone else has done, I need to set an example for me of how I'm going to lead my life, how I'm going to lead my wife, how I'm going to lead my children, and how I'm going to lead others. And by holding on to that lack of forgiveness, just harboring resentment and bitterness, the only way to set that free is to let that go. To realize that it's not fair. People made choices, it is what it is. And so the best thing that I can do is redirect my thoughts and my emotions when those thoughts do come up that are negative, into praying for them, praying for their best, examining my heart and my motives. Oftentimes it's because I don't trust God that He's going to take care of me in the future. And so it's easy for me to place blame on, well, if only so-and-so hadn't done such and such. Well, that's all may be true, but at the end of the day, either I trust God above my circumstances, that He's going to take care of me and my family, and continue to use us to make an impact for His good and the good of others. And that has nothing to do with someone else getting in the way of that. To realize that I've been bought with a price, and because I'm made in God's image, the people that I'm holding in judgment by not forgiving them, they're also made in God's image. And they are just as broken as I've been in making choices out of my brokenness. So out of that woundedness, hurt people is one of the things I heard John Baker say years ago through Celebrate Recovery. And really, we have to give each other grace. The only other alternative is that we're going to try to swallow that bitter pill that's just going to wound us. And so the best piece that we can do is offer forgiveness to others. Thanks a lot. Please check out my website for more tips, traviswaits.com/wholeness. Have a great day. Bye-bye.